Hi there, I'm Allie Elliott.
Hi, I'm Allie Elliott. Welcome to the stream today. I'm going to continue what I've been working on, adding some elements here and there. This one's going to be slow moving as some composites are, and then it comes down to the fun part where it makes a big difference, but it's also a matter of tweaking. So this one is going to be similar to some of the other stuff that I've done, but not recently, where it is very much there's a lot of use of negative space that have no more than like maybe a texture. So that's going to be a little different. To take a break from that, I pulled up Wonder Over Fear to work on that again. We have a beautiful, cozy, stormy day, and I'm going to use that to my advantage and work on that. So I want to pull up a dresser here. Ignore my child's very sloppy room. And I'm going to use part of this for this composite. So I really just want the texture. There's obviously a ton of distortion here. I just need these corners. And it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be a good image to be important to what we're working on. So little by little, you have to be patient with these kinds of images because so I want to adjust that. It's obviously a cell phone picture taken, about 3.5 minutes ago after the timer was on for stream. And I'm going to play around with the perspective a little bit. I just need the texture. This isn't going to be a valuable piece of information in this composite. This is going to be real subtle. So let's see. What do I want to do? No. There we go. I just want to warp a little bit and give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to do that one more time because I want to bring this side to me. There we go. That's what I want. So I'm going to add, it's going to need to be smaller. And I'm going to lose those legs and duplicate this because I'm going to repeat that pattern a little bit. Just a little. I really just want this side closest. And because this is lower. So I've done composites like this before, and I've learned a lot from them. One of them, just if you haven't followed along, I'm going to share these. If you've ever been here before, then you've probably seen these because I lean back into these images quite a lot. The first one that I'm going to show you was my first master artist loan collection image, which is what it used to be called. And then it went Imaging Excellence. It's still called that, but it's a different process now. I think it was in 19, and I really need to do a better job of having these images where I can get to them quickly, because I used to name, going forward, I'm good. But, okay, so this is one of them. Ignore these bottom images. Those are my guide images. But you can see that there is a lot of negative space in this image, and there's just a flicker of texture or of light, and that's what I'm going to be going for in this one. Now, the very next year, I attempted the same thing and didn't have quite the success that I did. Kitty says hi. So that first one was Numbered Days. This is Home of the Unknown Soldier. And as you can see, it's brighter. This image is brighter than this image. And this image is more successful than this one because there are these other elements of color and there are more items to draw your attention. But I feel like if I just would have taken this, maybe had her in plain clothes rather than a pattern, that kind of thing, those little details stole some of the story, stole some of the focus. Even if it's not a conscious thing, you don't realize you're looking, you're distracted by a pattern, whatever. So that's what I'm going to try to avoid this time. And this appears to be just a teeny bit off. There we go. So I'm going to merge those and bring this down. And I see now that I've got some debris that I need to clean up. But I also see that I was getting the angle wrong here. So this will just give me a little bit more of a something to go off of. There we go. And I can, whoops. And I can just adjust the flowers and things like that. Now, since the guide dresser is darker than so that the table that it was initially on is darker than the guide dresser, I'm gonna need to bring that way down so that it makes sense, because the top is obviously going to be closer to the light. Okay, so I need to grab the flowers then. Make sure that I've got them all. I do. So I definitely will have to be going over a lot of this again. That's just kind of the nature of this type of work. And then I think that I'm gonna go ahead and delete. I'm gonna delete this clump of flowers because I feel like it's gonna be distracting. Okay, so back to the table. And I need to be at 100. And just distort one more time to get those just right. Okay, So anything back here is definitely going to be in the dark, so to speak. So I'm not going to worry a ton about it. And that's, if you're type A like I am, leaving something unfinished feels so wrong. But sometimes it just makes the most sense. Whoops. Because it will literally never be. And I'm going to go real small. It's funny how in these composites, sometimes a little shift will make a huge difference. And then other times, like in those shadows, it's really not. It's not ever going to be known. So you want to try to work efficiently and work on the things that are going to matter. Okay. So I'll take this one, run my base actions, which will make that seem a lot brighter. But then I know that the image has been treated in the same way that let's see, I'm going to shift. And this will, hopefully, when this is all said and done, be absolutely in the shadows. So let's see here. And it's brighter. So we just need a general idea here. Okay. So I'm curious still for more thoughts on competition. If you are a competitor, how you're feeling about things. If you're not, are you considering it? What would be your deciding factor? Now I'm gonna grab the flooring under here. And see if we have even just completely obscured all of this. And then we'll go bigger. Now, I was hesitant when they said they were going to have new rules. Basically, everything was changing. I wasn't sure how to feel about that. And there's some weird angles going on. I recognize that. That's okay. But overall, I'm very excited. I'm gonna merge those and save. Okay. So is this the top? This needs to be much darker too. It had such a glare on it. Okay, so I saved a plain one. Now I'm going to bring this one way down. And save. And then merge those and duplicate that. I don't trust myself. So I'm at a pivotal point here. I need to decide. When I developed this concept, I wanted, so this is called, the title of this piece is Audacity of the Sun. It is speaking to when you're grieving, when you're very sad, when you're, everything heavy and the sun is still shining, everything's going on normally away from you, and how that feels wrong. That it's insulting almost that the sun is still shining while you are so deeply sad. So it was originally created in black and white, but I don't really create in black and white. So it's just going to have really, really low tones. When I went to my personal Facebook page to find someone willing to model for this topic, a lot of times it's really hard, as you can imagine, to find people willing to sit for such a heavy topic. However, a friend of mine lost her daughter a couple of months ago and felt like it would be cathartic and was willing to do it, which I'm so grateful for. But that shifted the image from... See, I'm trying to move... Let's see, let's move those, but I need this to come up. There we go. That shifted the topic from it being an overall grief piece to giving these little glimmers, these little, like the yellow shoes are going to be highlighted, and her ring is in there, and there's going to be some yellow in the flowers. So I think I'll work on the flowers. That's getting a lot of... especially that left card. It needs to be way darker because there's no light source coming in from the camera left that would highlight that. But it needs to be legible too, so. This is an evolving piece from what I initially set out to create. But I like that. I'm here for it. I went with classical music for today. It's very, very windy here today. And I have a soccer game tonight I'm nervous about. Okay, so I just wanted to take the brightness down there. Okay, that makes more sense. We don't need both of those. Okay, so what is this? Oh, this is intense. Whatever this music is. Okay, that's the right card. Double flowers, okay. So I'm just gonna get rid of this because I think it's just like leftover debris from where it was tucked behind that card. Hey! Good evening to you too. What are you editing tonight? Okay, we gotta get back out of that grid. Grains of sand? Like the Bob Dylan song. That's cool. This music is intense. I like it. Ooh, I've seen it on Instagram. If you are hanging out here or on YouTube, check out Bear Thunders. Bear, post your Instagram. And you can see his macro work. It's beautiful. That is something you won't ever see with me is macro. I feel like I don't have the patience. Or really macro lenses. No more than like portrait style macros, you know, little baby eyelashes and yay! This music is that's extra. You found your thing. I love it. There's nothing cooler than when somebody finds their thing. It makes me happy. I did snowflake macros. That was like the thing. It was a long time. It was probably 12 or 13 plus years ago. And I was in a photo challenge group online where they would post like every week they would post like a challenge and you had to go out, and one of them was snowflake macros, which is kind of mean if you don't live somewhere, because we get snow, but it's not at all predictable and you certainly can't count on it. We haven't had much snow at all this year. But it was cool. You just take some black felt out there and see all the different snowflakes. So once I get all of these little bits of light that got caught up in the petals of my dead flowers, it'll help anchor this bouquet into the shadows. I would struggle with that. We hardly have any snow here. I know. I think they said you could do like water droplets or something as an alternative, but that's not as fun. Although I will say Wrexham, if you follow Wrexham, the soccer team, football team, that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney bought. If you follow them on Instagram, they posted a cool picture the other day where their stadium was like upside down and like a water droplet. It was well done. Ah, very cool. There are a few weather events that you could safely say, at this time you can get this here. Very few, but we get all of them. It's just not very predictable. We need a nice spring storm. I've kind of given up. I guess we're done with snow for the year. We did not get much snow at all. I want my money back. But on to the next one, which means now we'll get snow. Which I like snow, but... And it's only February. It doesn't... That also is... No, this is not American football. This is football. They're in Wales. And I have followed soccer my whole entire life and had never heard of Wrexham until they have a show on, Wales, England. They have a show on, I actually don't know what the show's on. I don't ever put it on. It's my kids and husband put it on. Like, I watch it with them, but I don't ever man the remote. So if I had to find stuff on my own, we'd be in trouble. But it was about, they've gotten relegated down to, oblivion. And they're fighting their way back. My lights just flickered. It's not storming, but it's very, very windy and maybe haunted. I would take a storm or a haunting, actually. I'm cool with either. Preferably not both at the same time, just because that would be confusing. Yeah, Wrexham. Was I saying it wrong? Was I giving it a little Southern Indiana? Okay, if I suddenly disappear, then it is... Do you see it too? Are my lights flickering? Now I'm like waiting. Oh. Yes, I'll talk about any... Actually, I'll talk about any football. I suppose that's part of the... It's too bright. It's probably not part of the flower. Every time I clean up the edges of these flowers and think I've gotten it all, then I come back and there's like a whole new edge. Ah, yes. I saw every single World Cup game this year and I watched them all live too. Like, I cleared the schedule until they started having them like at the same time. So there were a few I missed. But I got into such a nice groove because here the times were, the first one started at 5 a.m. and then 9 a.m. and then 11 and then 2. And that was like the first 2 weeks. And then it was over and I missed it. Keeping just a nice little highlight on the camera right side works. Just like a little shadow of one. Now if it steals too much attention, we can always come back and trim it down some. But I like to have a difference in the different sides of the stem that's facing the light. We had some fun World Cup discussions. Okay, now we're getting into where I probably got sloppy because I had so much cleanup to do in this area. I'm trying really hard not to rush this because I have a tendency with a composite to want to jump ahead to the fun part where you flatten it and then you toy around with the color and the light and you get where you want to go. But it's always easier to take care of these details before it's all flattened. And I'm trying to make myself do that. Man, the wind chimes, I don't know if you can hear them on stream, but the wind chimes are going absolutely ham. Hey, kitty. Kitty's on storm watch. And I'm very excited about getting in here and smudging some of these petals. Whoops. A little off the rails there. It's weird with the comp changes that we have until July now, because when I first started entering competition, districts were at different times. So you'd have districts, somebody's would be in January and some people's in March, and you would have judging to watch about every other month for a while, and you could only enter other districts, if I recall correctly. You could enter other districts but only merit in your own. And I never entered any others because mine was first, and it was in January, and then we'd have a long wait. So I'd watch the judging for the other districts, but never enter because I was always done by then. And I could refine my entries up until IPC. So I do miss that aspect of there being judging going on. Now, you can definitely pick up lots of smaller competitions, especially if you're a printcompetition.com. JoJo, as in JoJo Siwa? Or is there a different JoJo that I'm unaware of? And I'm afraid to think of the songs because it'll get stuck in my head. No, I'm not even going to say it. I'm allowing the classical music to take over. Yeah, this will be a lot of fun to get in there and paint kind of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know what that is, but I do not envy you. There's a little bit of chaos in these flowers, and I kind of like it. But also, there is a Broadway show. I'm not a big Broadway person. I don't really get that into plays and stuff. But there were some Peloton rides with the songs from Six, which is about Henry VIII's wives. And I really want to see that. And I know it's been on Broadway for probably several years now, but oh, that's kind of cool then. Some of my kids have tried to learn Japanese at different times, unsuccessfully. We try. I just want to take some of this. It's kind of chaos. You can't really tell what's going on in here, but you can tell that there's some kind of a border. Scientific work here only. Let's see. Okay, that's definitely an edge to clean up. I thought you were talking about JoJo Siwa. They have English subtitles on. Well, it's like reading. I thought you meant like the Candy songs, or I don't know. I want to say Candy Shop, but I'm pretty sure that's 50 Cent and not JoJo Siwa. So, whichever. This is definitely one of those tasks that is tedious, but way less tedious than if I had gone ahead and flattened the image and then tried to separate out like these little highlighted outlines, or then it looks like in drawing one, the people who outlined everything and really took any dimension out of it because of the outline. That was my pet peeve. And when we had to pick somebody to critique at the end of class or at the end of a project, I would always pick somebody who outlined everything because that's easy. Yes. That's not something you wish on someone. Okay. So there are some outlines behind this, but I don't know if that's necessary because I don't know if I'm going to move. I doubt I'm going to move them. But, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I definitely need to play around with the light, so I'll do what I can to get rid of these awkward There we go. The highlights that are camera right aren't quite as important. Because there's some light over there. It would make a little more sense visually. What do we have going on there? That's gonna have to, oh, that's the outline of his face back there. That'll get cleaned up too. He's just gonna be a shadow. There's definitely some I can't tell what that bright spot is, but I'm gonna leave it for right now just in case it's important. It kind of reminds me of, if you see my tattoo, this is the bereavement leaf. That's what they put on the door. They put a picture of this leaf on the door of the hospital room door when someone is dying. And they used it with my daughter and they used it with my mom. And those are two different hospitals, two different circumstances. So that's why I got it tattooed on me. But anytime I see, I don't know if it's supposed to be a teardrop or a bit of rain or dew or what, but the one that they use is not, I had it, my leaf is changing colors, and the one that they use on the sign is not changing colors, but that's to represent how grief changes you. I did, yes. That's actually, she's why I started my studio. We had kind of talked about it, my husband and I, for a while, and it just didn't seem like the timing was right with our young family. But then when my daughter passed, we decided to go all in, and it gave me something else to focus on and pour my energy into. So she's a big part of, she would be 16 in April, which is just crazy. My kids would be very interested in this right now because it looks like Minecraft. Minecraft flowers. Just some intense zooming. Thank you, Bear. I appreciate that. Yeah, she is the source of a lot of my more emo work, as you can imagine. But we were lucky to have had her at all. Okay, I feel, oh, nope. I knew it. I knew it as soon as I started to say it. There would be more. Get these outlines handled. And I kept these dead flowers because I wasn't sure if I was done photographing them. I don't know if we had lost internet or what, but I just got like 100 emails all at the same time. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. How old was he? If you want to talk about it, you don't have to, obviously. He was 22. Gosh, so young. I'm sorry, Bear. Well, I think I picked the appropriate, there's my kitty, here to lighten the mood. I think I picked the right soundtrack for today. This song sounds like raindrops, so it's perfect. Oh gosh. Man, addiction is just, it's just heartbreaking for everybody involved. My husband and I lost a man who was like a brother to us both. Like basically the only friend that had been in our lives from the beginning. just truly like a brother. And we lost him in October due to addiction. Still think about him all the time, and I wish it could be different. I thought about shooting these on a green screen because I just have a little portable one. But I don't know that would have made much of a difference, honestly. There are enough similar tones in there. We might be doing the exact same cleanup here. He was so messed up with paranoia. Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it definitely takes away who they really were. It's terrible. I'm going to save because I definitely don't want to redo any of that. I'm going to work in the flowers though too, because I want some of the light in there to be... Wait, did I miss one? Yep, I did. When I use my stylus, his nickname was Smiley. Aww. I love that. That's what I'll remember about him. From you telling me. Boy, it's windy. There's something outside in the wind squeaking, and I have no idea what it is. It sounds like a gate, but there's no fence. Hey, well, I'll show you what we're working on, but you have to understand that we're very early in the composite process, so it is not pretty yet, and it's not going to be for a while. But this is titled Audacity of the Sun, and it's speaking to when you're really sad and the sun keeps shining anyway. So we've had kind of a depressing conversation going with it too. So that's where we're at. His mates bought a flower piece in the shape of a huge smiley for his funeral. I love that. I was just talking to somebody the other day about how it's weird from funerals, especially. I'll remember I have real vivid kind of odd memories, remembering who came, like what they smelled like or whatever. And then others, I can't remember if they came or not, if I saw them there. I'm all for depressing conversation. Well, you've come to the right spot. We've got sad music and it's raining. Yeah, it's a long time ago. It's still sad. That's okay. That changes you as a person forever. Yes, it's a good day for a little emo composite. Definitely won't finish today, but making progress. Starting to see what it's going to look like anyway. I'll show you a couple of finished pieces that this will be similar to the mood too. This is Numbered Days. This was my first lone image and master artist collection within competition. And then less successfully was Home of the Unknown Soldier. I should have taken that down. So I'm using this to remind myself to allow it to get dark, literally and figuratively. Because sometimes that's what you got to do. So I'm working mainly on the flowers today, cleaning up these edges, and I'm going to go in here and adjust the lighting on them. They're too bright. They're going to need to be able to fall off into the shadows. So these are all just pieced together, just composite work, and then treated kind of like a painting. I actually started my studio as a painting studio. I was a portrait artist. And then when my daughter passed, which is how we spiraled a few minutes ago, I needed something to pour myself into, and my photography studio was born. So she's a big part. Wait a second. And then that's my kid's terrible room, but I needed a dresser. Let me see here. So I'm gonna kind of hand paint the shadow of the person. Thank you. So I'm trying to be patient and allow it to evolve at a normal pace rather than like just itching to, thank you. Make changes to everything. So let's see here. Do I want to put, I think so. I'm gonna shift this just a little and up here because I want to hide the glare. Okay, before I flatten those though, I need to take this down a lot. Actually, more than it's gonna let me. So I can keep that. I'm gonna duplicate the whole layer so that I can keep it exactly where it is, and then I'm gonna select the inverse and delete. So I'm just taking that little section, but it's staying exactly on top of the other section and taking it way down. And then merging those. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. 14, gosh. And 28 is really young too. I just lost my mother when I was 36, and that felt like I was too young, way too young. I'm so sorry for your losses. But yeah, you're right. We're doing stuff with it. This is my art therapy. Okay, I keep forgetting I have lipstick on, and then I'm gonna look like the Joker. Oh, and I already see. Okay, so here's another one. I'm going to duplicate this layer so it stays. And I'm going to grab both vases and try to avoid sort of that yellow flower because I need its I need it to stay bright, but there we go. Most of this is gonna be significantly darkened anyway. I lost my dad when I was in my mid-40s and my mom's dementia. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. That's really tough. We have a little bit of understanding of that with my grandfather. But he was older. And so for a long time, we were just kind of like, oh, that's just grandpa. You know, he's just getting older. And then they moved from the home that they had been in since my dad was a kid, probably 60 years. And then once they moved, he just never recovered, really. He just lost he lost himself. He just lost who he was. But I didn't really, that was around the time, he actually passed 3 months after my daughter. So it was a cloud there was a lot of anticipatory grief leading up to his passing, and we didn't get that with her. With my dark humor, I could see the funny things in it. That's good. I mean, I think that's good. I wrote a book kind of about that, just trying to find light in these scenarios. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes there really isn't any, but oh gosh, that's hard. Are you sure about that? Well, are you? We need answers. So I want to keep a little bit of light in the top and sides, but just a touch, because I've got a very messed up sense of humor. I don't think that's messed up. I mean, maybe I do then. Let's see. I just saw something that I wanted to fix. Okay, maybe that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and merge those. Okay, so I'm also going to paint the whole thing. If you have old photo albums without names in them. Oh, yes. And my 12-year-old son is in a your mom phase. And if he can hear me right now, I can hear movement in his room. He's going to think this is the greatest moment. So I want to share, let's see. I want to share, this was my Grand Imaging Award finalist. I share this every chance I get because I peaked for this. But I used all these old family photos. My family tends to not have a lot of longevity. And I'm the youngest of my sisters and I. So my kids didn't get to meet I didn't get to meet a lot of our ancestors. So this is 6 generations of my family, the only way we can. And the pictures span 120 years. This is our family home that is no longer, it used to be like the site of family reunions, and it was a welcoming place, and it's kind of gone now. You can do stuff like this. Yes. But I'm just obsessed with it. They're all sitting with their namesakes. So my kids are in there too. This one's mine. This one's mine. And this one's mine. So she was named after my mom, my youngest. Her name is August Deborah. And my mom passed right around the time she turned 2. So she really got shafted out of time with my mom. So I try to create these things for her to kind of continue that legacy, because my mom's legacy was family. Like, family was everything to her, and because of these people, because it was important to these people. So I created this, and now it's hanging real big in my dining room. But these are the images that I used for it. And this is one of the only images we have of, that was my my great uncle, my grandmother's brother. So my great uncle, Riley, and he died when he was 7, but my son is Boston Riley, named after him. So they are together. And my daughter and my mom and my great great grandmother, and then a son and my great 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 grandfather, and then my daughter Marnie with my grandmother Marnie, and hey, impoverish bear. So my grandmother, the woman that I consider my grandmother, was actually my mom's aunt, but she raised my mom as her own and was, by all accounts, my grandmother. So we have kind of like, our family tree is kind of like it's twisted. Yeah, it's weird. And that's my grandfather and my son. So this was my nod. And this is the thing. Low base, everybody's here. Thank you so much. Yeah, yes. I love Zuzu Bailey with sunglasses. That made my life. So this was, I got this nominated for a Grand Imaging Award for this image, and now with the new rules, I wouldn't be able to enter it because I didn't take these photos. So I hope they find a place for those kinds of photos again for restoration. And I just talked to, are any of us really here? This is where the party is. This is where the therapy session has been. We need one of those once in a while. Everybody benefits. That's all right. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little, am I? No, not yet. That, so they have a specific note in there about, well, no, actually it's not them. It's not them that has the specific note. It's Portrait Masters has a thing. Oh, it's just going to keep going. This is like, we're going into the Matrix here. Let's not do that. So Portrait Masters has a specific note in the guidelines that don't try to change your metadata by taking a picture of a picture, or because there used to be strict rules about, I'm going to save this because it's acting weird. It's just, I think I might be haunted. I think, not me, not like possessed, but like the room. Welcome to Sean. Hey, that's going to be a roller coaster pretty soon. Welcome to the chat room. Am I still on? Something's happening. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, weird. Yeah. Yeah, so since I didn't take those, restoration as a category is no more. What is interesting, so I have my master photography, I have my master artist degree, and I have my craftsman degree. So I was kind of like done with the degree thing, but somebody pointed out today that they haven't really clarified how you can earn your master artist. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I am really itching to get this. I think though, one thing I want to do here is where's the table? That's her shoes. Hey! I'm not going to try to say your name. Welcome! So right now I'm in the really gross part of a composite that's not, just keep in mind, I recognize it's not good right now, but it's very early on in my composite. This is Audacity of the Sun. I always start to put in there, but it's not. This piece is titled Audacity of the Sun, and it's going to be speaking to when you're grieving and deeply sad and the sun is still shining and bright and annoying when you feel like everything should be sad with you. And it will be, these are some of my other works that are similar. Finished product will be similar. So this is Numbered Days from 2019. That was kind of a cool story too. Thank you. And then this is The Less Successful Home of the Unknown Soldier. This is my reminder to not let it be too light. I need to let it be dark. Yes, lurk while you work. Thank you so much. I will get back to this part that is not inspiring at all right now, but it will get there, I promise. I need to find this table edge. Okay, maybe that's why. One of the photographers I met through Ice Cream Social. Oh, cool. Good, good, good. Impoverish is on the circuit. I like it. Let's see. I'm going to flip this upside down. And then I can feel myself glaring. There we go. And I'm going to use my nice straight edge. Is it a picture or an illustration? Which? This that I'm working on? So this is conceptual. So these are photographs, but I am manipulating them all. Ooh, we've got the serious music back. I'm going to duplicate this again because I feel like I did not go dark enough. And then I'm going to go bigger here. me see overall. Yeah, that'll do. Just get started. Yeah, just grab little pieces. You can start with something simple and you can start. Sometimes I start with a concept. Sometimes I start with just a title. And just kind of go with it and see. Sometimes I know exactly how I want it to end up, and other times, more often than not, I'm winging it. I do want to get rid of the deep highlight right here. So I'm going to go real small. And try and keep a texture, a little reflection, but hey, new raid! Ray! Yay! Thank you so much! And Zuzu with the sunglasses. Thank you so much, Ray. How's it going? Yay! If you aren't following Ray, jump on I do have other pets. Jump on there and follow him. Hyena. Okay, so the cat that you're seeing right now with the sunglasses on is my cat, Zuzu Bailey. But when we picked her out from the shelter, her name was Hyena. So, full circle moment right here. Yay! Thank you so much. Good, good, good. Got home. Where have you been? Yay! You guys made my day. My name is actually Jeff. How was your stream? Did your internet cooperate? We're getting haunted a little bit. We want in on this, man. I keep just finding more. I don't know why I'm doing this with a mouth. Maybe a smoke signal. So I have a mixed media exhibition coming up. And I talked about it a lot. But I started measuring out. I need to cut everything into fourths. And I started measuring the piece behind me. And I have a metal ruler and I have a fabric ruler. And they are 1/3 of an inch off from each other. So now I'm afraid to mark it. Okay, what I'm gonna do now, am I ready to, no, I keep finding more. I feel like I'm never really gonna be done with these flowers. I can tell you, I honestly have no idea how much my internet costs. I work from home and my husband works from home. And so it is pretty important. Being self-employed, I might be more of a cheapskate, but his company needs to make it happen, so we get a little kickback for our internet. It is super duper duper windy here. I'd be surprised if you couldn't hear the wind chimes. And I have another soccer game tonight, so I need you guys to wish me luck. Because whoever wished me luck last week, it worked. So I'm going to need some more of that. Oh my gosh. It's just... What's happening? Ooh, Disney! That's my trigger word. I love Disney. I'll talk about Disney all day, every day. We go every year. We watch YouTube videos about it. That was one. We were talking about my mom earlier, and that was like her place. She loved Disney. And we went with her and my dad every year. Went to Disney World, though. I grew up going to Disney World. And we only went to Disneyland when my kids were ranked Pokemon players up until COVID shut everything down. And they had Worlds in Anaheim, and it was like right next door to Disneyland at the convention center. So that was the first time we went, and we ended up going back the next year. Thank you for the good luck. I need it. I'm significantly older than these people. Hey, thanks so much. Hi to one of the tour guide. Oh, yes. Who was it? There aren't that many at Disneyland. Most of them are Disney World. Was it the guy that wears the button down theme shirts? Brian Hall. Okay, I bet my son knows who he is. I'm going to ask him because he is Disnerd level 3000. He has out Disnerded his mother even. We were just talking about I think we're going to go to land for our next trip because we have, right before COVID shut everything down, we bought tickets to go to London for Pokemon, and we bought those in February of 2020, like February. It was probably right around now, less than 2 weeks later, and the world shut down, and they would not refund us. So we've got all this, and we drive everywhere. What is somewhat close to Disneyland? What is it? Trip to Oregon? Well, it's closer. I'll say that, it's closer. Okay, are we there yet? We might be. So we are road trippers for sure. And I love a road trip. Trying to see if there's any reason. Okay. So we've had these airline credits, I guess, for 3 years now. And I think we have until the end of the year to use them. So I think we're going to use them on a Disneyland trip. My mom made my dad promise that he would go back to Disney with us. And we did that last year. So his promise has been fulfilled. He doesn't have to go back anymore. And I think it just makes him sad because that was like her place for sure. Let's see. But Disneyland and Disney World have stroller meat. I can assume where that's going. Meat is it's a word. Stroller meat. Okay. This is taking a turn. This is taking a turn. So back to Disney. It's decidedly different. Disney World and Disneyland are different. It's so degrading. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna merge these. And then there, I keep seeing this same spot, and then when I get in here, it's somewhere, I get distracted by something else. But here it is. Did you stream from Disney? Some Disney photography? They probably tackle you or something. I wonder about that though, because they don't seem to care about the YouTubers and stuff. Interesting. For a while there, they really like buckled down at Disney World about people doing shoots, but I guess it's different when it's a shoot with a client versus content creation. Oh, that's good. We're your family too, Ray. I would stream from Disney, but like, I don't know what I would do. I don't do a lot of photo editing when I'm at Disney. In fact, I don't even take my camera, usually. I've taken it, if I take it, I'll take it one day, and not even a full day. I'll take it like in the evening, like if we go have lunch, because I don't want to carry it around and get it beat up. Now my camera's like on its last life. First 9 lives have already been used up. I didn't mean to do that, but now I'm going with it. Man, this is why I could never be a surgeon, once again. I do so well, and it's the perfect little line, and then at the end, just a little, oops, forget it. What did you, oh wait, I need to catch up. Probably, oh yeah, after COVID. They're just glad anybody's there. From your sick bed, were you sick at Disney? Ah. I think this is, I don't think this is a flower. I can't tell. It's the last day. Oh no! You have all the camera gear. Why aren't you bringing it? Oh no! Yes. Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's distracting. I'm in a different headspace when I'm there shooting than I am when I'm there to hang out. And I really wrestled with, we went to see the U.S. men's national team, the soccer team play, and in June, and I really struggled with whether or not to bring my camera because I didn't want it to get beat up. Now, that being said, I have an old camera. Old. Both of my main camera and my backup they're extremely old. So if something happened to them, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And I would finally be in a position where I have to replace them because I'm probably not going to until I'm thinking about this year. Thinking about it. Always be shooting. That's right. So I took it, and I was really, really glad that I took it because we were like, I could have reached out and like grabbed Christian Pulisic. I didn't, but I could have. And so I got some cool pictures because the two of their goals were right in front of us, and they came to that corner flag to celebrate, and I was glad that I had it. But on vacation, I'll just bring it in for like a minute and, focus on other stuff the rest of the time. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, because this is distracting, is hide those so that I can make sure that I've got these flowers all cleaned up. And I didn't. And like, if it's not showing up against that backdrop, but I also know that that is going to change. I'm not going to keep the same setup right now that I have. So I might as well get this cleaned up now and not have to worry about it so much. And that's not... Oh, I've got to catch up here. I can bring my old kit. If I get robbed, I can replace it easily. That's true. I was thinking more if I dropped it or if it got kicked or robberies happen. That's true. Yeah, I could do it black. I mean, that's basically what's back there right now. I just took away the person behind the flowers because I know that's going to change. No, that's the wrong one. But now I can kind of go back and forth between these two layers and make sure that I'm probably realistically doing a lot of unnecessary work, but already looking. You've had yours like 2 days. Well, I would be willing to bet my cameras are older than DiCaprio's girlfriend's. Nope. Wrong layer there. There we go. All right. So intricate, but so satisfying when it's all said and done. I don't really need those. It's kind of... I had grown up going to Disney with my family, and it's like a whole different world. Like the level of excitement and the perkiness is just like Disney level. And then when we first went to albums. I have to show you. Can you see my floor over there? I have multiple albums that have been delivered that I've not unpacked. But, do I have any Millers? I have one coming today. It's not out there yet. But if you do a Miller's signature album, you can, that is probably the most cost-effective way to get a good sample album for people to see that's tangible. This is a singing moment. It is a whole new world. And I was in a play. I was Jasmine. Yeah, the signature albums are phenomenal. And I've had a signature album, the same signature album, in my studio that people manhandle 5 or 6 times a week. And it's been in there for 10 years. And it's in beautiful, beautiful condition. Yes, from Aladdin. Don't you dare close your eyes. Second digital. Yes. Yes. And then that down there is Go Book from Graphy Studio. And I'm trying to think which client that is, if they're okay with them showing up. But definitely for... And Miller's has their sample sale. It might be over now, but they always have, I think it's 20% off. It might be more than that. It's David Phelps and Sandy Patty. I don't know who those people are. But I think that the best version was the WJHS middle school performance from 1994. I'm not sure if that was even the year, but it was not a good idea. Okay. All right. I'm going to duplicate in case I screw it all up. But I can start dodging and burning a little bit and making this really sing. Something just, yes. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna look that up then. I was fooled into thinking I was a good singer by my choral teacher because nobody else wanted to, really. Nobody else wanted to do solos and stuff. So just because I was willing. I could have ended up one of those people on American Idol, like the blooper reel. I could have been William Hung. I missed my moment. I want to hold on to this texture. I'm at 9% right now. I'm good with that. I'm going to hold on to these layers and really create a nice heavy dimension. Because all the dimension is going to be in this entire image is going to be in this triangle of light in the middle that's just imposing, which is exactly what I want. So as long as I can think I'm on the other one. As long as I can translate that, I'm good. F5. You guys got all the jokes. I'm here for it. We have knocked on every emotions door in this stream today. We were super serious earlier. Went deep. We've had Disney talks. Stroller meet. You just never know. You never know what turn we're going to take. Wow. Do we need to revisit the fact that I did a Whitney Houston solo? I don't think we do. I don't think we do need to revisit that. Okay. Man, we started watching. Has anybody seen the show Traitors? I don't want to spoil it if somebody might watch it. Stroller ham. That's crazy. Not even on the right. There we go. Stroller ham. Ham is technically meat. Okay. Before we bring that one back, I'm going to work solely on this one. Hold on here. Oh, boy. This is very Disney music. Where'd you guys go? Everybody just stopped. You were afraid I was going to sing, weren't you? Okay, I need you guys to tell me what movie you saw in the theater multiple times. Mine is Titanic. Actually, I saw a lot of... Oh, I'm muted? It shows up. You still haven't seen Titanic? Do you want me to reenact it? You saw Frozen? I don't think we saw Frozen in the... Okay, so growing up, I saw a lot of movies multiple times in the theater. That's just because we didn't have anything else to do. So we went to it, but probably didn't watch it. We just like met at the movies. I'm not mad about it. That was a wise decision. Okay. That was gross. I don't want to do that. Your mom worked at the theater? That's awesome. We need to go way lighter here. Not that light. Not that light. There we go. Oh, you know what I didn't do yet was burn anything. I have Whitney Houston stuck in my head now. In fact, I did the other day too. This is hard to walk away from once I get to the fun part. When it really starts to take on some shape. You only see any movie once? No way. I would honestly never have to see another movie as long as I live because I could watch the exact same movies over and over. For one thing, I have bad memory, so they're still kind of a surprise to me. And I could watch, in fact, I've got a movie quote on my shirt from Steel Magnolias. Could watch that every time. And the rest are Christmas movies. Theater manager's daughter babysat me. Nice. That's pretty cool. Some good. I can imagine there was some solid memories in there. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap this up so that I can emotionally prepare for my soccer game. This is our last regular season game and then the tournament, and then we're done with my bad idea. And then I will be back on Wednesday to continue this composite and finally get to where it's starting to make some visual sense. I think we'll be there. Thank you guys. Is there anybody here? Help me find somebody to raid. Who do we have? Let's see. Oh, TLD. It says Fortnite, but whatever. Thank you guys so much for coming, as always, keeping me company. Is that, let me see, how does he spell his? Yes, okay, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much, as always, so much for coming, and join me on Instagram, join me on YouTube, follow me here, and I'll hit you guys back. Thank you so much. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.
That's why you my mommy. Please.